The moment my son-in-law laughed in the courtroom, I knew my life was about to change, one way or another. This story is a work of fiction. Names, characters, and events are purely imaginary. Any resemblance to real persons or incidents is purely coincidental. My name is Daniel, and until that day, I had never felt so small. The courtroom smelled of old wood and quiet judgment. People whispered behind their hands, and every sound echoed like it was meant to remind me I didn't belong there. I stood alone at the defendant's table, my palms damp, my heart pounding. Across the room sat my son-in-law, Victor, perfectly tailored suit, expensive watch catching the light, a smug smile carved into his face. He leaned toward his lawyer and said it loud enough for me to hear. So he really came without a lawyer. I always knew Daniel was foolish, but this. A few people chuckled. My daughter, Emily, wouldn't meet my eyes. That hurt more than Victor's words. I had raised Emily alone after her mother passed away. I worked double shifts, skipped meals, sold my old car so she could go to college, and now here I was being sued by the very man she married. Victor claimed I had illegally transferred ownership of a small piece of land that bordered his commercial property. The truth was simple. That land had been in my family for 3 generations, but Victor wanted it, and Victor always got what he wanted. Or so he thought. The judge adjusted his glasses. "Mr. Daniel Carter," he said, "do you have legal representation?" I swallowed. "No, Your Honor." Victor laughed openly this time. "This will be quick," he said. "Some people don't know their place." The judge frowned, but said nothing. Court procedure began, and Victor's lawyer delivered a sharp, polished argument filled with legal jargon I barely understood. Every sentence felt like a nail sealing my fate. When it was my turn to speak, my voice trembled. I tried to explain the history of the land, the old documents my father had kept, the promises made long before Victor ever entered our lives. But without legal language, without confidence, my words sounded weak, even to me. Victor shook his head dramatically. "This is painful to watch," he said. "He should have stayed home." Then something unexpected happened. The courtroom doors opened. A tall man in a charcoal gray suit walked in, calm and unhurried. He carried a worn leather briefcase and an air of quiet authority. Conversations stopped. Even the judge looked up. "I apologize for the interruption," the man said clearly. "Traffic was worse than expected." He turned toward me. "Mr. Daniel Carter," he said, "I hope you'll forgive my lateness." My heart nearly stopped. "I'm sorry, sir," I whispered. "I don't think you have the right courtroom." The man smiled gently. "Oh, I'm exactly where I need to be." Victor stood up abruptly. "Who are you?" he demanded. "This is a closed hearing." The judge cleared his throat. "Sir, identify yourself." The man nodded respectfully. "My name is Michael Reeves," he said, "senior partner at Reeves & Holloway, and I am here to represent Mr. Daniel Carter." The room exploded in murmurs. Victor's face drained of color. "That's impossible," he said. He said he didn't have a lawyer. Michael glanced at him coolly. "Mr. Carter didn't have one," he replied, "until this morning." The judge raised an eyebrow. "Mr. Carter, is this true?" I could barely speak. "Yes, Your Honor." Victor's lawyer leaned toward him, whispering urgently. Victor waved him off, still staring at me like I had just turned into someone else. Michael stepped forward. "With the court's permission," he said, "I'd like to submit evidence that proves not only my client's rightful ownership of the land, but also deliberate misrepresentation by the plaintiff." He laid out documents, original deeds, notarized letters, archived tax records. Each page landed on the desk like a hammer. Then Michael did something that made Victor visibly sweat. "We also have email correspondence," Michael continued, "where Mr. Victor Hayes admits intent to pressure my client into surrendering the land under threat of legal action." The judge's expression hardened. "Is that so?" Victor stood up, shouting, Those emails were taken out of context. Michael didn't raise his voice. Context will be very clear, Your Honor. For the next 30 minutes, everything changed. Michael dismantled Victor's case piece by piece. He exposed inconsistencies, false claims, and strategic intimidation. The confident man who had mocked me now avoided eye contact, his foot tapping nervously. Finally, the judge spoke. Based on the evidence presented, he said, this court dismisses the plaintiff's claim in its entirety. A pause. And furthermore, the judge added, this court recommends a review for potential abuse of legal process. The gavel struck. It was over. Victor collapsed into his chair, stunned. Emily looked at me, tears in her eyes, seeing me, perhaps truly seeing me, for the first time in years. Outside the courtroom, I turned to Michael. I don't know how to thank you, I said. I can't afford a lawyer like you. Michael smiled. You already paid me, Daniel. I frowned. I did. He nodded. 25 years ago, you gave a scared teenage boy a job when no one else would. You told him he mattered. My breath caught. You're the kid from the hardware store. He laughed softly. I never forgot. As Michael walked away, I realized something powerful. Victor thought strength came from money and mockery. But real power comes from integrity and the lives you touch along the way. And that day, for the first time in a long while, I stood tall.